All right. So once you get your 18th technical foul of the season, you get suspended for one game. And Anthony Edwards did pick up his 18th technical foul in his game against the Brooklyn Nets tonight. Timberwolves still ended up blowing out the Nets and getting the win. It was a big win for Minnesota because they're sitting in the number 6 seed right now. But if they lose their final game of the season, which Anthony Edwards is going to be suspended in against the Utah Jazz, they can possibly drop into that 7 or 8 seed, and then they'll be in a play-in game, which they're definitely trying to avoid. Um, the technical fouls are so soft. I'm going to play the replay. I can't show the audio just in case I get a C right claim, but I'll show the replay and just let me know what you think. If this was deserving of a technical foul. But let's run it real quick. So right down here, there's Anthony Edwards' reaction. I'll run it back one time again. Right down there, call a blocking foul, and they teed him up. You kind of see Anthony Edwards do the hand gesture, but I always like to think if you're watching the play with no audio, which we are, was it like some big disruption of the game? Is he making a mockery of the official or making a mockery of the game? And we'll watch it again, but just watching this with no audio, it's not like he did something crazy or chunked the ball or slammed the ball or get in the referee's face. But the refs are just like so sensitive these days. They call a technical foul for anything. And I think it's one of the biggest problems going on in the NBA right now. But let's run it back one more time and have a better angle where you can really see. But yeah, down there, I guess they call it a blocking foul. And again, we'll see the replay. He does say the magic word, but all you see with no audio is just him do a hand signal. He says something to the ref, then the ref tees him up for whatever reason. But I feel like you should just let that slide, especially with the playoffs coming up. Nobody wants to see, players getting ejected in playoff games or picking up their 18th technical foul and getting suspended for a playoff game. And people make the argument, oh, you just need to avoid getting the technicals. You just need to control yourself or whatever. But I always say with LeBron James, Draymond Green, they'll cuss at the referees all day. They'll drop all kinds of fuck bombs on the referees and just cuss them out. Draymond will just clap in the referee's face. Draymond has to get like 5 or 6 technical fouls before the referees will call him for his first technical foul in the game. And I get it with LeBron. LeBron's a legend. He gets that leeway. He gets to talk more to the refs than any player. And whether you think it's fair or not, he has earned the right to be able to do that. But with Draymond, I just don't get it. Yeah, like he's a 4-time champion, and people would just say, "Oh, it's just Draymond." That's just how Draymond is. We just gotta get used to it. But like I said, dude will get like 5 or 6 technical fouls. He'll cuss the ref out. He'll be clapping in the ref's face, laughing at the ref. Whatever he does, he'll get right in the referee's face, and then they won't call a technical foul on him until he does again like 4 or 5 crazy things. And like I said, people will say, "Oh, that's just Draymond Green. You know how he is." But then, on Luka Doncic's side, everyone knows how Luka is. He talks shit back and forth to the refs, claps at them, does stuff like Draymond, but they'll give him the softest technical fouls and eject him so fast. And then kind of the same thing with Anthony Edwards, but let's see the better angle here, and we can see first of all if it even was a foul, because I don't even think the blocking foul call was even a good call. Okay, here's the better angle. Let's see what you think. So right there, and that was where they blew the whistle. I thought Anthony Edwards was in a good guarding position. He kind of puts his left arm out to brace himself from the impact, but he was in good position. The offensive player just bumped into Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is sliding his feet, and I thought it should just be a no call, if anything, to be honest. But if we see one more time here on this one, just watch Anthony Edwards and can see if we can read his lips. Boom, they call the foul. Let's run it back one more time. A little more. All right, right here. All right. I'm not a professional lip reader, but I think you can see pretty clearly Anthony Edwards says, "Excuse me, Mr. Referee, sir, how is that a fucking foul?" And I agree with him. Like, it was not a blocking foul. He just sliding his feet. I thought he was in legal guarding position. And then he wasn't super demonstrative. Again, he doesn't throw the ball or run up in the ref and get in their face like he's about to punch him out like Joel Embiid. He doesn't do anything close to what Draymond does, again, 10 times throughout the game, just clapping literally in the referee's face, just cussing them out right in their face. All he says, again, in the heat of a really important game, it's basically a playoff style atmosphere in all the games now, at least for the teams that are in the playoff and play-in race. And again, Timberwolves still blew out the Nets. They still won the game easily. I don't think they're going to lose to the Jazz, but those are the types of games that, bottom feeder teams love. Last games of the season. Let's see if we can, knock out one of these playoff teams, knock a team out of the playoffs, or in this case, knock Minnesota into the play-in game. And, it's a cool opportunity for the younger teams to experience like a playoff style atmosphere, because it will be definitely a playoff style atmosphere for Minnesota's last game against Utah Jazz. And we'll see if the NBA decides to rescind the technical foul or not, because they can't do that for Anthony Edwards. But I really don't think they're going to rescind it. He said, "How is that a fucking foul?" And every time you say fuck to an official, or in Luka's case, if you say it to a fan that's 10 feet away from the official and the official hears it, you know, they have to tee you up, I guess. It's something in the rule book. Um, I've been blaming the officials lately. I don't think they should be calling these soft ass technical fouls and getting players ejected so easily. But, I think Adam Silver is the main one to blame. He sees it happening again and again and again. He hears people complaining about the soft ass technicals, the soft ejections, and all the soft stuff from the referees. The players still play hard. The game is still physical, even though some people will deny it. It's not as physical as it used to be, but there's still physicality in the game. The players aren't soft, but the officials, the technicals, the ejections that they hand out are really, really soft. And Adam Silver sees it happen game after game after game, and he doesn't tell the officials to change anything, and they just bring their ego and their emotions to work, and then they let that affect how they officiate the game. They can never have a player say fuck at them or anywhere around them. All Anthony Edwards said is, "How is that a fucking foul?" Does a little hand gesture. Referee could have easily just walked away and let it go. Anthony Edwards is not going to follow him around and, keep saying shit to him. If he does, then tee him up. But, it's just frustrating how it's not consistent. Again, like I said, I get it with LeBron, but Draymond Green is the main one that frustrates me. Is literally just clapping as loud as he can in the official's face. He'll get in the official's face and be cussing them out right to their face, nose to nose. Like I said before, he has to commit 7 or 8 technical fouls before they give him the whistle for one technical foul. Yet, if it's Luka, if it's Anthony Edwards, there's other players I can't think of off the top of my head, but they just love to tee people up for no reason. And it's really annoying. It ruined. I don't want to say it ruined, but it definitely affected the Lakers Thunder game. It was a one possession game with 7, 8 minutes left in the fourth. They eject Luka Doncic for talking back and forth with a fan, which I've never seen before. And then, the referees are affecting the entire game and affecting, the bottom line, which is keeping the games as entertaining as you can. And, I just think Adam Silver needs to do something about it. Talk to the referees, let the players say fuck every once in a while to a ref. Like I said again, Anthony Edwards, he just had a reaction in the heat of the moment. Let him say that real quick. Just walk away as the ref. Just take 5 steps this way. If Anthony Edwards keeps following you and trying to cuss you out, he wasn't even cussing you out. He was just asking, "How is that a fucking foul?" And then, you know what I mean? Just be more cool, calm, and collected as a ref. And stop letting the technical fouls and the ejections affect the game so much. But comment below. Let me know what you think. I just think it's pretty out of control. I've never seen it so bad with so many soft technicals and so many ejections being called. But please like and subscribe too if you finished.